I think I've prepared quite an interesting story for you all. So let's jump into it. Just a short message. I was introduced, Rainer Friedl from Austria, center of Europe, somehow at least. But the Emakina group, where I'm part of, is a group that is everywhere in the world, but my person especially is here in Austria. We're responsible for a couple of countries, Poznan in Poland and Zagreb in Croatia. We are focusing a little bit on the Eastern market, but our core business is here in the DACH region, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and my colleagues are spread everywhere. So I'm pretty excited to tell you a little bit of the facts about Emakina. We are roughly about 1,000 people, 22 agencies, I think, meanwhile already 23 agencies worldwide in 17 countries, do a lot of projects, but that's not what I want to tell you in detail. Actually, what I want to tell you is kind of the spirit of Emakina. We are a digital agency, but our focus is we want to empower the relations of our clients with their clients. And that has very much to do with omnichannel. That has very much to do with CRM topics that are more internally. But on the other side, if you know your client, then you are able to do a brilliant journey for him. And we're talking about one-to-one. We are talking about all this nice stuff that is out there to make the experience for the client brilliant. And I'm a bit excited to tell you a very nice story about that. But before that, a not so nice story. In fact, the last year has been a hard year for everyone. And maybe you have seen this chart before, but that's actually the business, the digital business, how it evolved in Germany in the last year in terms of percent. So you see a tremendous increase of what's going on in digital business, in e-commerce especially. And we see growth rate that are way over 50% in some peaks that are, of course, correlated to COVID. So we see that these people started, or everybody started to do online e-commerce. But the fact is that so many people who never ever did e-commerce before and bought things online are doing that now. And there is some studies around where you say after, let's say, 60 days in average, people are used and learned to a new habit. And that what's happened. Actually, the whole world learned in these 12, 15, 16 months how to use online services, how to use e-commerce. And people who never ever did it are now used to it. And some of them got addicted to it. They love it. And the problem with this story is the business was totally unprepared for that. So lots of companies struggle with getting this shift from POS, from classical commerce into the story of e-commerce. But struggling is one thing, but some of them are not just able to deliver right now. They are not able to find the right people to help them grow in this business. Luckily, we had a client where we started right in front of the pandemic. So we started in January 2020 with a new project, with a new client. And that's the story that I'm going to tell you right now. The client is Hartlauer, so it's a very, very well-known brand here in Austria. It's a retailer. When I say well-known, then I'm talking about 100% coverage, so everybody knows this brand. But it's local, having around 100 stores around Austria, and supposed to be a brand that is not only into the stuff of doing online business, but very much into the POS and very much into the people that go there. And e-commerce is something that is evolving good here, but not so much at the moment, at the first moment. But now I tell you the story in a short video. What has happened here.
Electronic retailer Hartlauer is treating consumers to an upgraded experience, both in-store and online. Emakina, the user agency, was chosen as partner to empower and streamline Hartlauer's customer relations. Physical stores can now offer connected services, while online shopping reflects the in-store experience. Consumers can get helpful advice at any touch point and have their shopping delivered wherever they like. For Hartlauer, every relationship matters. That's why Emakina was asked to design and deploy a cutting-edge omnichannel solution, integrating best-of-breed technologies. The solution is augmented by AI models, developed specifically for the Hartlauer's business to enhance services and support decision-making. How did we get there? Together, we committed to an ambitious digitalization program to deliver Hartlauer's vision. It started in the testing times of the unfolding COVID pandemic. As daily life was coming to a standstill, we reaffirmed our resolve to build the Hartlauer of the future. Emakina guided all the stakeholders to develop a strategic roadmap. We started out on a fruitful path of co-creation, involving all aspects and functions of the business. An agile approach allowed us to iterate through development sprints and retrospectives to gradually deploy and integrate all of the components of Hartlauer's solution. Our combined team worked bit by bit to develop a digital backbone, which integrated the client's legacy information systems. From establishing sound foundations for omnichannel business to prototyping and refining all the user interfaces, Emakina managed a comprehensive program that has brought new ways to delight users across all touch points and to better collaborate with partners. The solution helps Hartlauer's teams to support marketing, customers' relationships, and omnichannel commerce seamlessly. All data is exploited in strict compliance with European and domestic legislation to turn Hartlauer into a smart retailer, able to leverage AI for stronger performance. Our united team has been able to deliver a cutting-edge composable architecture for a solution that is highly structured and yet very agile. It can easily adapt to change and underpin lasting success. Future-proof? #done. The digitalization of a business demands bold vision and absolute commitment on all sides. Emakina's holistic perspective across strategy, design, delivery, launch, and growth has given rise to a new and delightful user experience at Hartlauer. Emakina, the user agency.
This was a very short video about what we did here in Hartlauer, but as you have seen, there were so many components involved in this project, and this is a sketch of the technology map and the architecture that we built here, but that's actually not what I want to tell you about. I'm talking more about this picture. The center is the important thing. The center is the user. And there is a lot to tell about the experience of a user, and the experience of the user has a broad journey, and this broad journey has to do, obviously, with the loyalty program. That has to do with all the aspects of in-store what they experience in the in-store, but also online. And what we built here is based with lots of Salesforce technology, all this stuff around marketing cloud, commerce cloud, also service cloud, the order management system, also the whole integration of marketplaces. But furthermore, and that's actually what I want to talk about, is the trinity of content here. So if you want to deliver content to all these channels in digital and also offline, you need a broad platform for your content technology and your content strategy. What we used here is, as I said, the trinity of content. So content in terms of text, which is typically a content management system, DAM, a binder as the platform for all digital assets, and last but not least, a PIM system, which was in River for all the product data. We're talking about roughly 100,000 products. We're talking about 5 pictures per product. So you can imagine how broad the data of all these things are in binder. But on the other side, also automating all of these processes, automating how the data of the products come into binder, but also into in River and content. And that was the platform that delivers all the content, whether it is a newsletter, whether it is something like the website or the e-commerce platform or some campaigning websites. But it's also going offline. So all the topics of building a catalog, building advertorials, building advertising materials, all this is stored in this content hub and totally integrated into the rest of the platform for delivering a seamless, integrated, and totally branded experience for the clients that use the Hartlauer websites. So how did we build that? We built it actually in 365 days, so in less than a year. A totally greenfield project started, and we delivered a full new experience for the client. And the essential part here is when I talk about 360 degrees, then I mean that not only in the experience of the user, but also in what the people at Hartlauer are doing on their own. So, for example, if we look at these pictures, then we see websites, we see landing pages, we see advertising, we see also the catalog. And all these things are now no longer distributed over file systems, distributed over different branches of the organization. It's all into one process that drives the full production and the full delivery process of creation of the materials that is delivered to the clients. And that, I think, is an amazing part, because all these products are existing just once in a system, and everybody who either being internally or being externally is using the same material everywhere, and can reuse it and build the materials that are needed for that. In the benefits that we produced here for our client is like, of course, bringing these technologies together and having a seamless experience, not manually carrying one thing to the other store, but have a full integration. And that means at least less spending on content creation. It's fairly easy for them to build new websites, because the pictures from products are getting into the system by automatically uploads of huge databases that can deliver all this information right away. And we have then only processes to deal with, to check the quality, to improve sometimes quality, or to do some sort of checking if the quality is right. But the creational process is way less hassle, is hassle free in terms of what the people do. So you actually also need less resources to manage each of these individual channels, to get the assets there, to get the content there, and to publish it right on time when the product is available, and not waiting till the content is available. It's much faster time to market for everything that they produce, and still in this production, of course, there are workflows. If you think of products that come to stock, then there is a whole story that is running before, like the buying process, the purchase orders of the companies to bring these products into stock, getting all the assets that are needed to tell the story, to have the people trained on the new photo camera, for example, and having the assets, the video material, and the pictures right in place, right in the hand, and in the system where you need it. And system where you need it, that's a tricky part, because still Hartlauer is very strong in the POS. But on the POS, they do a tremendous service in consulting the client what they can do with the product. So they need this information to have it right in their fingertips when the client is there. That's including video material, but also all the images and PDFs, that maybe even manuals that are needed to explain the client what needs to be done. Last but not least, the print material. If you imagine developing a catalog that is sent out to 3 million households per week, then you of course have a plan on which products is in this catalog per week, but you need to produce it. And there, this trinity of content comes into place, where Content AI is delivering headless as a headless service, the content that is more general, that is more marketing oriented. The PIM is delivering all the specifications of the products and all the information that are needed to bring into the catalog, but also all the material, the photo material that is needed to print it. And there we have a seamless approach for the agencies that actually produce these. So we actually have a timetable which products should be in the next catalog, on which pages they should show up, which advantages should be shown, the prices, the discount, and all this stuff. And that's basically a very simple job for Hartlauer. And the agency itself is just firing up InDesign, taking InDesign, and actually loading down from Binder the latest template of the catalog, and with the plugin they have actually the mirror of the pages, so all what should be positioned on which page, and then they drag in the content, make a first draft of the version, send it back via Binder, discuss in a workflow environment if this material is fine, and then it is stored there as an InDesign document, transferred to the printing company, made a proof, and that's it. And you have to think of how this process was before. I mean, tons of emails, FTP servers, companies involved with emails and sending it here and there, and so on and so forth. And this reduced the effort that Hartlower has with all these processes dramatically, really dramatically. And now they can focus on the more important stuff than building more on the user journey for the client, and on the same time also focusing on content, like not only taking the content that is available to anybody, but using the experts of Hartlower who actually explain the client what are the benefits of products, to write content and deliver this content. With Binder, we have. Binder is an insight for us. We're not a very long partner with Binder, but in the last project that we did together, it was a fantastic collaboration, and we see more and more of the benefits of the tooling that is for our clients. And of course, the topic here is the processes of branding are something that I didn't go into the depth, but like having the possibility to just change one picture in the system, and then all the systems actually adapt to it automatically, is a fantastic opportunity for all these brands that frequently change the logo. And I know actually for some of my clients, they do it in a 3 years focus. So there are little adaptations, but meaning changing a logo is a tough work if you have not a system like Binder in behind. When we talk about integration, so I told you trinity of content, but trinity of content also means that these three systems that we have, Binder as the DAM, Content AI as the headless CMS, and InRiver as the PIM system. Those three systems are totally integrated. So there is not one image transferred from Binder to Content AI or to InRiver. So we're working with references, and that makes sure that each of the system that is responsible for a part of the content is really the only truth that exists, and that helps a lot in the whole situation of delivering the right content at the right time at the right place. The integration worked brilliantly with Content AI, and for those who don't know Content AI, this is, I think, the best headless CMS currently on the market. It is an independent. You get a lot of independency from the technology because it's headless. You have your content under full control, and it's best in breed in terms of content. But if you take systems then who are best in breed, like Binder for digital asset management, or InRiver for best in breed in terms of all the things that you have with your products, then you have a combination that drives you forward for the future, and you don't take any shortcuts on the products that are not best in breed in some of these technologies. Here you see just a compact view. So if you're familiar with Binder, then you know you can integrate it so easily, and and the experience for the user, for the editor is just brilliant. Just fire up the picker and select the images that you need at the current place. No uploads, no FTP and whatever. So here I end at my session just in time, but maybe I have a little bit of time left for some Q&A, and there might be some questions in the audience. Sorry for my English, but I'm working on it.
Hello, Rainer. Can you see me?
Hi.
Yay, hello. Hey, your English is fantastic, please. Thanks so much for hearing the exciting stories of what's going on with Emakina, and I'd like to pronounce it correctly that time. My apology for the first one. Can I ask about the beginning of the story? I mean, how does an old-fashioned retailer in Austria, in a kind of low internet commerce country, go from 0 to 100? How did it start?
Where did it start? A good question. I mean, the owner, it's an owner-based business. So this guy Mr. Hartlauer does have a big vision on where to go. And he's tremendously successful with his business, just focused on Austria, but still, I mean, he's doing a brilliant business. But
100%
he realizes
reach. You can't knock that.
Yeah, and he just said he wants to be one of the best in digital in Austria, and he just said, okay, let's do greenfield.
When was the first conversation? Before the pandemic or in the pandemic?
Before the pandemic.
Okay.
And we were actually very lucky that he didn't stop the project, because that's what everybody would have expected, that you stop a project in the pandemic because there were no revenues. But the opposite was true. So we need to go faster. And as I told you, I mean, building the whole CRM part, building the whole e-commerce story, building the whole content story, integrating it with the OMS, order management systems, and the ERP system, of course, and building that in less than 12 months is something that is
very special.
We're proud of.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are proud of, at least.
I think there's a lot of people watching right now going, we are jealous. Because, I mean, a lot of people 1 year into it are either not far along or are on the wrong track. I mean, to pull that off is quite an accomplishment. So is it important then to have that clarity of vision at the top to start things going? Because that's been a bit of a theme today, is do your preparation right and get the buy-in and, go slow, plan more, jump less kind of a thing. Do you have any observations on that line?
Actually, we are doing, I think, a good job in this preparation, and we call it co-creation. So we truly believe in the story that we are the experts in digital, we are the experts in CRM, but we don't have a clue on how to sell a photo camera, to be honest. But here is the interesting point. If you bring these experts together with us into one room for 4 weeks, what we did with Hartlauer, then you get this outcome. And that's our philosophy. So we are working totally tightly in this co-creational process, where we define what will be the next steps, what is needed, what are the pains, but always focused on the user, always focused on the client, and always looking for what is actually the client wanting to have, what are the pains, and how can we solve it. And this is the essential question. And we know how we can build it. We can know how we can design it. But actually, the knowledge about the services, that's coming from the client. And bringing this tight together makes a very, very strong foundation and a very strong relationship.
Very interesting.
At the end.
And what about the rest of the organization at the middle levels? What was their response to this ambitious project?
You wouldn't believe how small the team on the Hartlauer side was, but they were fully committed. And I mean, this is of course a little bit easier in an owner-based business than in some big companies where you have lots of different divisions. But that's also the advantage of owner-based business, because if the boss says we are going this way, then you go.
Yeah.
and he has the right people, and these people are committed to it, and that's fantastic. I love to work with these guys.
Absolutely. Well, other people might not be in quite that same luxurious position there, but thank you very much for your insights. Congratulations on all the accolades, and well done on the timetable. Rainer, thank you for your time.
Was a pleasure. Thank you very much.